Earth signs, let's look at what's coming up for you this week in your career and abundance and love and relationships. I'll start with your career. It looks like you are about to get some kind of offer or opportunity, and it might have you really wondering whether or not to accept it. You feel quite skeptical about this. It might need a bit of weighing up there because with the Hierophant in reverse, it is something that is a little bit either out of the ordinary or a bit unstable. So it doesn't feel like a firm contract or full-time employment. It sort of feels a bit more maybe speculative or a short-term contract, or there's something about it that doesn't sort of feel super concrete, or it just feels really new and maybe a little bit unconventional. Certainly seems very different for you because you're being urged to really look at this from every angle with the Hanged One. This is upside down, everything looks different from this perspective, and that seems to be the message that you will be, it's a good idea for you to get unstuck from maybe old ways of thinking about your earnings, about your kind of career direction. There is a bit of a rethink at hand, and it could be moving you in a direction that you hadn't really considered. Could be something a bit more new age, a bit more sort of unorthodox maybe. I'll pull some more cards. In your love life, well, it looks as though there is justice coming. There might be a decision to make to find some balance within your relationship, and you can trust your intuition here. These are two very heavy-hitting cards. So this is about really trusting your intuition and knowing that you will be guided. And justice here is about weighing things up. So there's a bit of that around this week in both areas of your life, just kind of trying to either keep your own equilibrium, or what it feels like is actually healing from past pain. You have healed, and it is a matter really of trusting that, is what it seems, and finding some new balance in your life. And your advice seems to be to take things slowly. Don't feel the urgency to rush into a new situation or move forward with something in your current relationship if you're not sure about. The High Priestess doesn't act. The High Priestess kind of receives information and lets it percolate and sort of receives intuitive guidance. Doesn't speak about it and doesn't act on it just yet. So that's a really good idea. Until you kind of feel balanced, don't do anything rash. And there is a third topic as well. Now, I will pull more cards on all of this. Now, the third topic for this week for all signs is things to let go of. That is the one I drew randomly. And let's look at that now, because that might help inform both of these areas of your life before I pull more cards on those. So things to let go of are overthinking, especially juvenile thinking, maybe thinking that, was quite typical of you when you were younger. And this Page of Swords is sort of about neurotic thinking. It's about the quest for information, like you feeling like you don't have enough information to make a decision. And it's logic, so it's ego, and it's kind of spiraling. And it's a matter of trying to find this balance that was showing up in your love life and also in your career, without the overthinking, the neuroticism maybe. There is a fear there about moving on, taking a leap, starting something new, and going on a new adventure. So there's this fear to let go of there. And there's also this kind of internal conflict to let go of with the Five of Wands in reverse. This is not useful. This is a lot of back and forth, a lot of grappling and battling with yourself to your own detriment, maybe even fighting with others. So let go of any past conflicts, especially. Don't let them hold you back from your current journey. This is all to let go of, this past trauma. And this is the advice to help you with that. Luck is on your side. This is coming out quite a bit this week. It's time to be optimistic about the future. Sagittarius there is taking the long view. having a broad horizon, letting the past be the past, and really just, trying to get out of the prison of your own mind and your own kind of neurotic spying on the internet on people, trying to work things out in your head, trying to sort of gather information in a negative way to try and protect yourself. It's not going to work. So it is time to let that fall away and get a little bit more expansive and free flowing with your energy, because luck is on your side. Okay, so now let's look a bit closer at your career. Well, you may be feeling completely stony broke at the moment and may even be feeling fear about your financial future or your stability, and you are being urged that true stability comes within. It is, yes, you need money to pay the bills, and yes, you need to, have some income in this modern world, this 3D world, but really true groundedness is a soul state, and there seems to be a lot of fear around the future and a sense of what has been lost, the spilt milk card here, and you are being urged to remember there is always possibility, there are new things coming for you. And this really does make sense of these first cards, where you might be offered something that you don't jump at when it's first presented to you. You may be feeling a bit in the doldrums right now and a little bit pessimistic, and this might not be where you thought your career path was taking you. It might be an interruption or a disruption, a redundancy. There is something there that feels kind of disappointing, and there's sort of this need here to find balance and stability within yourself rather than freaking out there. And these are the cards that came out about this. Let your friend group and your network help you here. It feels like they are going to be really important, either as advisors or giving you a pep talk, reminding you of how fantastic you are. They might even just, there might be some pearl of wisdom that they drop that leads you into a new career opportunity or new financial opportunity, or so-and-so is looking for someone like you. So there could be just this clue or some sort of opening that you hear about through friends. So get out there and network, and not in that awful way of, robo-calling all of your friends one by one, but just, get out and about with your friends and keep your ears open for opportunity there. Because look, the doldrums that you're in right now, it is an optical illusion. And so the more you can act from this place of having faith in your stability, even when you are surrounded by evidence to the contrary. Now that is the true definition of stability. And that's the meaning of faith. Faith is when there's no evidence around and you've just got to trust yourself, your talents, your skills. They will be recognized. You might have just let go of one trapeze and you're waiting for the other trapeze to come into view, and it's that horrible bit when you're in midair, kind of hoping you don't fall into smash into the ground. There is a safety net always, and there is always another trapeze bar coming for you to catch. So it is about getting out of the prison of your mind. And certainly if you're in an area where you're not being paid well enough, or you're being stifled at work, it is time to look at things differently and think, fuck it, what other things can I do? Honestly, the best opportunities I've had have come to me when I've been at my fucking wit's end and I've gone, what can I do to get out of this job? I will do anything because I'm really burnt out. And the next day get a phone call, I'm not shitting you, from someone wanting to sublet my apartment back before subletting was a thing. And I was like, oh wow, they want my apartment for 3 months. I can move in with my parents for 3 months with my cat. And I was lucky to be able to do that. It meant I could quit my job for 3 months, take a 3-month sanity break, and luckily be able to return to it. And I didn't earn any money in that time, but I had enough coming in to pay all my bills, and I was, living pretty frugally. And it only happened because I was at my wit's end. The day before that, or a week prior, if someone had asked me if I wanted to sublet, I would have said, no, I've got a day job. And my mind just would have been closed to the idea. But because I had literally started to scribble down on a bit of paper, what else could I physically do? And came up with very little, honestly. But I was sort of like throwing my hands up metaphorically to the heavens going, what can I do here? And to get a phone call the very next day, honestly, that was quite astounding to me. I'm not saying that happens all the time, but it did happen. It's happened to me a few times, and that's, it's some kind of magic. So look, this is all part of the optical illusion. You've got to keep the faith here. Get yourself out of the handcuffs, and one way or another, your friends can help you. So let's get a little pep talk here. Okay, so it is really time to look at your fears and examine them. And yes, if they are practical matters, there is no getting around that. I mean, some people can magic up solutions. I'm actually not one of those people. So I haven't cracked that code yet. I don't know about you. But what you can do is go within and change your mindset. In fact, that's the only thing that any of us has any control over. And when you change your mindset, sometimes big shifts can occur. So you are being asked to just look at your fears, acknowledge them, and maybe write them down and look at them and go, yeah, what's the worst that could happen? I could be homeless. And then think about all the ways, all the friends who would come to your aid, your network of people who would step in to give you a hand, and realize, okay, well, that would be shitty, but I could do it. There is, for all your fears, they're there for a reason. They're there to protect you. Your ego is very clever, and it wants to keep you alert to danger. And so that's what it will always focus on. So it's about acknowledging those fears so they don't grow in the dark like giant mushrooms. Put some light on them, acknowledge them. They will stay at a manageable size when you can sort of write them down and come to terms with them and just nourish yourself and go, oh yes, well, I'm frightened of that, and go, yes, well, we'll get through it one way or another. That is one sort of piece of advice. And there seems to be guidance here to follow your passions, or to let your passions guide you. Now, I'm not one of those people that says throw in your job and do whatever you love because that will reward you. That's not often the case. Or that isn't guaranteed, is what my personal belief is. So it's a matter of finding the intersection between practicality and what you enjoy doing. And you might have to think a bit creatively about how you can find a job that brings you money and stability, that you can put a bit of yourself into and get some reward from, that might be different from your normal job. I get enormous satisfaction from ironing. So would I take a job as an ironing person? Well, yes, only if it was pillow slips, because that's about where my technique ends. Tea towels and pillow slips. So yes, I could get a job doing ironing, and I could actually find some measure of satisfaction from that. Data entry, I love it. The mindless attention to detail and getting everything right, Virgo rising, I would absolutely love that. And I have done it, and I actually find some measure of joy there, even though it's not my life's ambition. So it is a matter of thinking differently here and going, okay, this might just be temporary. It's not my life's goal to be ironing. It's certainly not for me, and neither data entry. But can I find this joy for the time being, just to help me get out of this little glitch? Yes, I can. I can do that. Okay, that's a lot on career and finances and stability. Let's go back to love and relationship issues now. The Eight of Swords here says you may be feeling trapped by your own fears, and not only just fears, but pain from the things you have experienced in the past that has sort of made you a bit nervous about stepping out of a comfort zone. It's sort of the way you've got your boundaries set up to kind of keep you frozen in place. Now, whether you like it or not, you are being shaken out of that kind of safety zone, that sort of very contracted, small space that you might have confined yourself to with the Tower. So this is fresh energy coming in, and it might feel challenging to you. But this is new thinking coming your way. This is Page of Swords. It is about new ideas that are just kind of starting. So it's just kind of exploring new avenues and new thoughts. And you are not going to be doing this alone anymore. This is kind of the end of a road for you, carrying all these burdens. 10 of Wands, carrying all this load, these heavy wands. You are at the finishing point now. You are sort of getting to a place, yes, it's going to sort of shake you out of your safety zone, but it is for the best. And, you know, help is at hand. It's going to be a relief to put down this burden. With the Page of Swords as well, you can gather information here. Or, in fact, somebody may be watching you online. So this card here watching you, this is very much Page of Swords energy, but this could be you just kind of taking your time to gather information before making a decision. It's sort of like the getting to know you conversations that you have with someone else or have in your relationship, where if things are difficult, you kind of start this conversation on a new topic that you've kind of never explored together before. Now, things may feel cold, but that is what is moving off. It feels like a time of thaw, where your heart, the ice around your heart, can melt finally. This is a time to look into your dreams, and by that I don't mean just pay attention to the dreams you have. It's like, what are your dreams? And really open up your mind and your heart to the possibilities of the future. Let's get a bit of guidance about your relationships. Okay, well, you are being led, you are being guided. You can trust your intuition on this with the precognition card. It says psychic ability, future vision. So again, we get, you know, what are your dreams for the future? How can you imagine your best possible future, and try and hold that energy, call that energy into you and sit in that energy so that that becomes the energy you exude, and then that becomes the things that you attract in effortlessly. This is a time of rebirth for you. So you're leaving the darkness behind now and entering the light. And when that first happens, when that Tower shakes you out of your cozy little prison that you've made around your heart, it can feel quite challenging. I'm not saying it has to, but you know, you come out of the darkness, you're blinking. It takes a little while to adjust. Just trust the process. You will be guided, and just know that the light in making you blink is not a threat. It is actually a really good thing. It just needs you to take a little time to adjust. So I hope that helps you, my darlings. Remember, things to let go of are the fears that are holding you back from moving forward. And just remember this week that luck is on your side. So it is time to think positively, optimistically, and expansively about every area of your life. If you'd like your own personal reading on this or any other topic, go to my website, Abundance Love Joy. I'd love to do a reading for you. But meanwhile, this is Sarah wishing you much abundance, love, and joy.